What's up everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Dunmere, top 100 Overwatch player. Now, I don't want to waste any more of our time, so let's jump right into this Junker Queen guide. I do have a professional tank player here to help with this, so welcome, Frosted.
Hey guys, my name is Frosted. I'm a 4600 tank player who's played on many contenders teams such as Uprising Academy, Revival, and Skyfoxes. I recently had a hands-on experience with Junker Queen playing in the Contenders Summer Series, and I'm here to do a rundown on her kit and how you should play her.
Let's start off with you talking about what Junker Queen's abilities do and how you should use them.
Junker Queen's primary fire is a shotgun with a pretty tight spread called a scattergun. She does the most damage up close, but can also do pretty good poke from mid-range. Jagged Blade is a throwable skill shot knife. When you hit someone with it, you're able to pull them back towards you when you recall the knife. You can use this ability to set up plays with your team, or use it similar to a Roadhog hook to combo someone. When you hit the knife, you're able to call it back to you whenever you choose in the next 3 seconds, so try to be smart about when you choose to pull them. Junker Queen's commanding shout ability allows you to increase everyone's health and speed instantly. This ability is amazing for pushing into the enemy team or surviving a close call. Because it instantly gives you and your surrounding teammates health, it's great to survive an enemy ultimate and is a very useful team escape tool. With the Carnage ability, Junker Queen swings an axe to damage and wound all enemies in front of her. This attack also wounds enemies it hits, so slash into groups of enemies and watch them take extra damage over time. This axe also gives more healing the more people you hit with it. Junker Queen's ultimate is called Rampage. This ultimate lets her charge forward, dealing damage over time to all enemies in her path. This also applies an anti-heal effect to all enemies, so try and line up as many people as you can. Junker Queen's passive is Adrenaline Rush. With this ability, you heal HP over time from any attack that deals bleeding damage. This includes her regular melee, her throwing knife, her axe, and her ultimate.
What are the strengths and weaknesses of Junker Queen?
Junker Queen's biggest strengths are that she can sustain herself on the front line while dealing out massive damage to enemies who try and brawl her. Her Jagged Knife can also set up kills for your team during fights. She's excellent at creating opportunities with her wound damage and Jagged Knife. She is also excellent at finishing these opportunities by pushing aggressively with the sustain and movement speed buff of Commanding Shout. Her ultimate is also very strong. Hitting a group of enemies will almost certainly guarantee they die, while applying an anti-heal to them, and also does 100 damage over time, which is half the health of most characters in the Overwatch 2 roster. However, she does suffer at long range, and on maps where it's hard to get on top of the enemy team. She excels most in close quarters brawls, so any sort of poke comp will whittle down her HP eventually, as she has no armor in her health pool to sustain. Also, her Jagged Knife is a big part of her playstyle, so hitting it consistently is a very key piece of playing Junker Queen.
What are the best situations to play Junker Queen in?
Junker Queen does best on maps without a lot of high ground that are very linear. Maps like King's Row, New Queen Street, and Coliseo will benefit her playstyle and allow her to brawl into enemies without them being out of her reach. However, make sure to avoid long-range maps with Junker Queen. A map like Havana might seem like a good map because of the limited high grounds, but she simply won't be able to reach her enemies and will only be spanned down by them from a long range. In regards to team comps, Junker Queen plays well with other characters that like brawling. It's fine to pick her with longer range characters too, but you'll do well with her if you play heroes like Lucio, Moira, Genji, or Reaper.
Now to put it all together, how should you play Junker Queen?
Junker Queen should always be looking to get in the face of her enemies. A Junker Queen at full health, slashing and shotgunning into her enemies is extremely valuable. However, you have to be smart about how you do this. As many Junker Queen's enemies can spam her out from range, you're going to want to use cover as much as you can. Play corners as much as possible to avoid being low HP before you push the enemy team. On defense, make sure to play in choke points and punish your enemies as they try to push through them. Playing next to a choke point sets up great opportunities for damage as well as big axes, since it's guaranteed to be a close range fight. Junker Queen's Jagged Blade is one of the most important abilities she has. Operating like a mini Roadhog hook, hitting one of these creates a great opportunity for a pick. While you won't always guarantee a kill on a pulled target, they'll be weak and not ready to fight back as you push into them. Look to communicate with your team if you hit someone, taking advantage of the 3 seconds you have before the knife automatically returns to you. Commanding Shout works in a very similar way. It feels like a mini rally, but be careful not to use it like one. While it does give you extra HP and movement speed, it won't keep you up in longer fights. So pay attention for when your enemies are weak or low on cooldowns, and then push them with Commanding Shout. The extra HP will be just enough to keep you alive, and the movement speed will let you chase down and finish your weakened enemies. This applies for the opposite scenario as well. Commanding Shout can also be used to help you and your team survive an enemy push when you all are low. Junker Queen's ultimate and Carnage Axe are quite similar in that they are best used into groups of enemies. So go for an axe into a group of enemies as they walk through a choke, or if you have your ultimate available, dash through the enemy team when they are together to secure a team wipe. If you're feeling a little creative, you can also look to flank with your ultimate. To do this, set up behind the enemy team and ult through them back to your team to avoid putting yourself in danger. As long as you're playing corners, utilizing your abilities correctly, and communicating your shot with your team, you're going to do great on Junker Queen.
Thanks so much for coming onto the channel, Frost. I really appreciate having you here. Where can we follow you on socials to get more connected with you?
You can find me on Twitter here, and if you want to hang out and watch some Overwatch 2 gameplay, my Twitch link is also in my bio. Thanks.
If you're looking for some more Overwatch 2 content, then make sure to check out these videos I have right here. Like I said, I'm a top 100 Overwatch player, so I have lots of videos and things to share with you guys.